Yo, what's up, It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Superman. Woo! Alright, we are, what's this? Is this the Merno arc, of course, the Merno arc, and we watching two parts today, so look, we ain't got no time to be wasted, man. Let's get into it, bruh.
And down goes another one. You were indeed the most troublesome god of destruction among the bunch. But your willpower to continue this war against me didn't get you very far, now did it? You are lucky to have kept Whis by your side to aid you this entire time. Otherwise, Merno says, you would have been dead a long time ago, Beerus. Damn it, no, Vegito shouts. Lord Beerus! Enough is enough! Stop this, Merno! But Merno was in fact far from finished, because as he proceeded
Nigga Merno killed Beerus, son.
Going as far as to show the blood of Beerus on his hand to Vegito, he then went on to ask, just look at it, would you? The blood of your precious destroyer is on your hands. Figuratively, of course, while it's literally on mine. All of this would have been avoided if you had just given up the Grand Minister's location that would have led me both to him and those ridiculous little brats that he protects. That, or they could have summoned the courage to come save you when you worms needed it the most. This is a reflection of the sins of your past, Merno says. Doesn't it pique your curiosity now on who will be next, Saiyan? It's a fascinating little guessing game, isn't it, Merno asks. Very high risk, absolutely no reward. But from behind Merno, Vados and Whis were shown closing on in as Whis went on to shout, together, Vados! And as Whis and Vados went on to attempt to attack Merno, Merno from there had instantly vanished and now getting behind the angels and telling them, a valiant attempt, but you missed. It's been a long time since you've seen me move that fast, hasn't it?
Damn.
Little traitors. Go on, gaze upon his miserable corpse, Whis. Does it hurt knowing that you weren't able to save him? I know what that feels like all too well, little brother. A feeling that has haunted me for generations while you wasted away with your pathetic god of destruction. And with Whis then shown continuing to look down on Beerus' dead corpse, he then went on to say to himself, Lord Beerus, there must be something that I can do to reverse this. Enough time has passed, so I should still be able to create a staff and
crazy.
change things quickly, which was exactly what Whis had done, because as Whis was then finally able to spawn an angel staff, in an act of desperation, he then went on to shout, it's back! I must reverse time just enough to save Lord Beerus from, but then, before Whis could do anything about it, his staff was then yanked from his arms as Merno went on to ask, and just what do you think you're planning to do with that? Trying to reverse time? These angelic staffs are truly becoming a pain to constantly have to deal with. But you won't be needing this anymore, Merno says, and with Merno then getting a hold of Whis' staff, he then continues, I think this tool and weapon of war is best suited to remain with me. All who oppose me are more than welcome to try and take it from me, Merno
Hey,
says.
well, you can let a nigga just snatch shit out your hand, bruh.
But I welcome your attempts anyway. Now, which one of you has the courage to step forward and open the mystery box to find out what lies inside? To find out which one of your lives will be ripped away next, as out of nowhere in between Vados and Whis, Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito had volunteered in dashing directly towards Merno and shouting, I do! You two stay here, we need you both alive more than anything. We'll deal with this. And as soon as Vegito was then shown making his way towards Merno and attacking him, he then went on to address the angel by telling him, we're the ones you want, Angel. We're the ones with all of the information that you're looking for, so fight me. Leave the others out of this, with Merno responding, how cheeky of you, mortal. But how can I possibly finish our battle when I have unfinished scores to settle that don't involve you? And with Merno then shown having to avoid Vegito's attack, he then went on to continue, you're so eager to die, aren't you? But I think I'll keep your fusion around a little longer before spoiling your fun. This staff that I'm holding on to sickens me, Merno says, and for all the right reasons. How rude of me to use someone else's weapon in battle, he says. And as Merno was then shown having to throw Whis' staff with such tremendous force, he then continues, here you go, little brother. I think this belongs to you. Have it back. to where Merno's intention now was to purposely use Whis' staff as a means of a spear in attempting to do what he could to impale his Then where out of nowhere, Mastered Ultra Instinct Jiren had proceeded to push Whis out of the way by shouting, "Get out of the way now!" But it was already too late, because even though Jiren had managed to save Whis' life by pushing him out of the way, it was as a result of Jiren having to step in, where Whis' staff had then impaled him in driving Jiren's body back.
No, not G.
Margarita went on to shout,
not Jiren.
No, hold on, Jiren, I'm coming to help you. And Jiren was finished.
Damn.
Not only was Jiren's body shown being taken out of
He's
orbit,
cooked.
but the sheer force and impact of this staff having to impale Jiren's body was so tremendous that it ultimately then led to Jiren's body having to land on one of the nearby
what
moons.
the fuck?
As Jiren was shown bleeding out and
You threw that bitch that hard?
Sorry, Belmod, Topo, Universe 11. I failed you. I can't move. This is the end. I tried. No, we will not lose you too, Margarita says. Stay right there, Jiren. I won't let this be how your story ends. And just where do you think you're going, Merno asks. I never said you can leave this place, especially not while I'm here to see my mission through.
Oh shit, he getting,
you, Margarita, and
he getting impatient. He ain't playing no more.
You won't be going anywhere to save anyone, you entitled fool. You were always so snobby and spoiled. Why don't I send you to the same place I sent both your strongest warrior and your god of destruction?
Oh shit.
This will only take but a second, Merno says. And as Merno was then shown having to squeeze down and snapping Margarita's neck, he then continues,
not Margarita.
There we are, just the sound I was looking to hear. You should have been a good sister and told me what dimension the Grand Priest was.
That's your sister, bro.
No, Vado shouts. How could you? Margarita, please get up. Get up! He's tearing us apart out here, Vegito says. He snapped her neck without even trying much. He won't stop. There's got to be something that we can do, but what? I helped guide you before you were groomed to become Universe 11's attendee, Merno says. And now look, lying face down on the ground. What a waste of space, he says. You once had such great potential. All of you angels did. Look how far down you all have fallen. And then there were 3, Merno says. Interestingly still, no Grand Priest or Omni Kings. And as Vegito then went on to join both Whis and Vados, he then went on to ask, okay, so what's the plan here? Do any one of you have an idea that might help us out? Or are we going in there with hands flying? With Vados responding, this is one of the worst possible situations that we can find ourselves against him.
Crazy.
Whis, how long has it been? Can you confirm? It's only been 5 minutes, right? With Whis responding, correct. Which means we would need to buy 25 more minutes of this.
Damn, I forgot about that part. That nigga did say 30 minutes.
Or we're all dead, he says. 25 more minutes until what, Vegito asks. You don't mean I do, Whis says, but we can't give in now. We need to do everything that we can to hold out for another 25 minutes. Otherwise, it's over, Whis says. Then we'll try to expose his blind spots and attack him from different angles and hope it works, Vegito says. We are the last ones who stand in Merno's way, Vado says. The only ones who are coming between Merno and his goals. This will be a battle of grit and time, she adds. He's coming. He knows this might be the end. And if this is, then let it be our greatest battle, she adds, for the sake of all life. And as all 3 are then shown getting into fighting position with Whis, Vados, and Vegito standing ready, as Merno then is shown slowly approaching, he then went on to add, so it's come down to this, has it? I would ask you again, but I already know the answers you'll give me. A while back, I sensed the Grand Priest's energy pulsating throughout the multiverse. It was as though he was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. At first, it baffled me, Merno says, until I found out what he was secretly doing. He embedded his own energy to seal the multiverse off from being destroyed, hasn't he? I knew he was plotting something, but this also made me wonder, he adds, is my power truly worthy of rivaling our father's? Am I strong enough to shatter through his protection? Let's find out then, Merno says. With you three being all that oppose me, I wanted to test some of my powers out and see if I can grab the Grand Priest's attention a little more. This ought to remind him of what I'm capable of, he says. And as Merno was then shown having to create 2 portals besides him, he then went on to add, I want the 3 of you to watch very closely to what's about to happen here. What you see before you are portal entries into 2 random universes. These are the gateways that directly lead me there. I want you all to watch very carefully to what I'm about to do.
What he about to do?
One way or another, I will have what I came here for, and I will do it by any means necessary. Wait, hold on, Vegito says. What are you about to do? Just watch and see, Merno says, as even the Grand Priest himself is beginning to feel what Merno's about to do. As
He about to destroy 2 universes at the same time?
Merno, no, he's... But this shouldn't be possible. The multiverse is sealed off, protected so no universe can be destroyed, he says. Excuse me, sires, but I will be back, the Grand Priest tells the Omni Kings. I just need one moment in order to check on something, please. And as the Omni Kings are then shown hovering over the hourglass, they both then went on to add, I like his idea. It sounds really fun. I do too, says the second Omni King. I think we should do it. I like the sound of what he said. And with Merno then shown just about to make his move, he then went on to add, thought he could protect them, did he? I want you to watch and see what will happen to the rest of these pathetic universes when you die. If the Grand Priest wasn't so quick to step forward and save this universe, then will he intervene to save the others?
At the same damn time. Oh.
Which universe do we have here? All right.
This nigga dangerous, bro.
Universe 2. Let the destruction continue, Merno says. Whis, what do we do, Vados asks. We have to do something. If we try and stop him, Vados, Whis says, then he'll destroy us instead. And Merno did not waste a second, because just as he said he would, Merno ended up firing 2 separate energy blasts which directly went into both Universe 1 and Universe 2, to where as each of these energy spheres had then made their way inside of these universes, Merno then quickly carried on by squeezing down onto his fist in wiping out both universes.
Oh shit, I was about to say, them energy being don't look that strong. But I see.
May you both burn as I once burned. What have you done? Vegito shouts. All of those innocent people. To where even then, when going back to the Grand Priest, as the Grand Priest proceeded to open
Grand Priest, they
doors,
need
he then went on
you.
to respond, he couldn't have, but he did. We cannot wait any longer, the Grand Priest says. I was lucky to have reduced the time within the hourglass without the Great Kings noticing, but I don't think we can hold out for another half hour, he says. Universes 1 and 2 are gone. This has gone far enough, the Grand Priest says. I believe the Omni Kings have agreed to my conditions. If we wait any longer, then he will destroy everything before we arrive, he says. I must check with the Great Kings now. I hope they will accept my offer or it will all be destroyed. Where are you, Father? You fought so hard to protect these universes from me that you shunned me out to ensure that order is kept.
Oh shit.
So where are you now, Merno says. And as the complete annihilation of both universes 1 and 2 were shown, Merno then went on to continue. Failures, all of you. This was exactly what I stood against when I first spoke out against them. Stop this right now, Vegito shouts. He destroyed them, Vados says. What a cruel and heartless beast you have become. Why, Vados asks, why are you doing
Why did all the angels just team up on him?
Lusted and driven to destroy. Is that fear, Merno asks. I haven't seen fear on the face of an angel since training.
I think all 12 of them would be able to put some damage on them or something.
Now when I was judged, you should.
But what I know.
Now then, Merno adds, let's finish this once and for all. You know I'm not one to break promises, right? So here's a promise that I'm going to make. Our next encounter will be our last. As Whis went on to respond, Grand Minister, we can't do this. We need you right now. Vados, this is it. Do you sense that? Do you sense his intentions? This is it. Well, if this next battle will be our last, Whis says, then let it be our greatest battle to date. You will not win. As Merno now is looking to set his sights and finish off Whis, Vados, and Vegito, Merno then went on to ask, are you now beginning to see how completely hopeless you insects truly are against me? After all that's happened, after all of the lives that were snuffed away, there is only now one thing left for me to do, and that's to destroy what remains of this universe multiverse and find my way to the king's throne. I originally called for change in the multiverse, Merno adds, only to be denied and thrown out like garbage. You want to protect the multiverse, but you don't want any of it to change. How are you supposed to protect the essence of life if it's not allowed to evolve, Merno asks. I am the product of its evolution, which is what scared the gods into casting me out. Look at you puppets, enslaved and dangling on strings.
Damn.
There is only one path to true evolution,
And they're
Merno
talking this
says,
shit too.
and that's through the extinction of the current order of structure. Whis, look, Vados says, he's going to do it. Why don't you fight us instead, Merno? Don't do this, Whis adds. What good will come from destroying this universe before fighting us? Because I've already beaten you fools, Merno says. In more ways than one, to be exact. Your spirits are broken. The only reason why you are even still standing is because of your instincts to fight for your survival. I've already proven my point here, Merno says. Here's to another universe to join the grave. But then, before Merno could actually carry out his plan in wiping out Universe 7 out of nowhere, Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito took it upon himself in dashing directly towards Merno by telling him, "Not if we have something to say about that. Final Divine Kamehameha!" And Vegito was not letting up, because the moment Vegito had gone in firing this attack directly from point blank range, the sheer force of this attack alone was so tremendous that even Whis and Vados went on to shield themselves in responding. What a tremendous force of energy! Hopefully that slowed Merno down. Any idea of how long we have, Vados? With Vados responding, I don't even think Merno was expecting for that to happen either. I believe it's been 10 minutes, which means there is only 20 more to go. Let's hope we can make it, Vados adds. There. Gotcha, Vegito says. I don't care who you are or how strong you claim to be, there is no way that didn't hurt him. But then, to the horrifying shock of everyone there, Merno was not only still standing,
I ain't know you was a bitch, Merno.
Himself behind the protective barrier,
a shield? That's a bitch move, Merno. Take that on. Take that head to head.
Your power is one of the very few great things that has ever come from
the shield is crazy.
Species. But your power alone wasn't enough. You needed the aid of divine beings in order to hope to match me. I never needed aid, Merno says. My power comes from within. It is mine, and it is a power that you cannot possibly comprehend or obtain. Universe 13 once housed Saiyans too, you know, and under my leadership, they were 13. Some of the greatest warriors the cosmos has ever seen. And yet, when my universe was taken from me, they were taken from me as well. You warriors were each given luxury to train and be trained by the gods. Why? Why are you mortals protected while I was rejected? With Vegito being taken back and responding, how in the hell is he not even phased? You weren't judged in favor of mortals. You were judged by your ambitions to carry out mass genocide against the multiverse. Evil like that cannot be allowed to prevail. But I already have, you defiler, Merno says.
Oh shit.
As out of nowhere, Merno had gone to unleash these energy beams from his eyes,
not eye beams,
piercing right through Vegito's body. As Merno went on to add, as if your power could ever come close to rivaling mine, Saiyan mortal. If there was one thing that you've all proven to me here today, it was mortals alongside both gods of destruction, Kaioshin,
damn,
and
he got
angels,
Goku and Vegeta now.
To be eliminated
Vegito.
And restructured after resurrection. You will never know peace so as long as I continue to exist. And now you worms can all kiss the 7th universe goodbye. And with both Whis and Vados having to shout, "No, don't do it!" Merno was in fact dead set on destroying the entirety of Universe 7, because within the blink of an eye, Merno then quickly went on to take action in unleashing a gigantic attack down onto the planet itself and shouting, "I will rip everything apart, now die!" Which in fact Merno had gone to do exactly that, until out of nowhere, all of a sudden to Merno's surprise, as Universe 7 was being destroyed, Merno went on to ask, what was that? The fabric of space-time around me is changing, caught in a sudden shift, almost as though time itself has stopped. No, reversed, Merno says. This goes far beyond time-skipping, Merno adds. The energy around me feels different. Reality itself is changing. And with everything around Merno having to then all of a sudden stop, Merno proceeded to look down on his hand by responding, "Those worms couldn't have possibly done anything to change things without me noticing."
Oh shit.
My body and power
oh shit.
I'm sure of it now, Merno says. It couldn't have been them. The land remains and the planet intact, which means time itself was indeed altered. changed, and indeed reversed. And if not by the hands of Whis, Vados, or any of the other angels, then by whom if Margarita is also dead? I sense balance, Merno says, which means Universe 7 was not destroyed just now when I intended for it to be annihilated, and the energy of all those who opposed me have suddenly vanished. All of them, without a trace, he says. Could it really be true then? As it was right there during that moment where out of nowhere,
oh shit,
Merno by telling him that's quite enough. Acts of injustice end here, fallen angel. As the moment Merno had gone and turning around,
pull up, nigga,
directly up in the sky, that's when Merno went on to respond. So it is true. It was you. At long last, we finally meet again. Grand Priest. And as the Grand Priest had finally arrived for the first time since his original exile, all hope within the multiverse now seems to be restored as the Grand Priest went on to address Merno by telling him, your acts of mass genocide and universal destruction ends here with me. I am beyond words on how you've managed to survive and rebuild yourself throughout the years, but your careless and reckless acts of evil will no longer continue. I am to uphold the laws of the multiverse and to abide by the rules held in place to maintain order and balance, the Grand Priest says, and you are disrupting balance within the multiverse. You've been seeking me out knowing the laws that are in place. You knew I couldn't respond until given the order, and as such, that order will remain until the balance of my restriction is lifted. And as such, the Grand Priest continues, the great Omni Kings will bear witness to this, for a clash between angels is a rare sight to behold even for divine eyes. I am to wait out the remainder of my time given by the Omni Kings before engaging you, and I promise it will be your last. Sires, this is Merno, the once highly regarded elite angel and former attendee of the now destroyed Universe 13. Our exhibition, as promised, will begin shortly. You brought them here too, asks Merno? An exhibition bout? So, you were stalling for time in order to convince those brats that this was for their entertainment, didn't you? He looks familiar, says one of the Omni Kings. I think I remember him. I think I do too, says the second Omni King. He looks scary. This is so exciting. You are to ignore the Omni Kings and only focus what's in front of you, says the Grand Priest. You will focus on me and only me. You are to wait out the small amount of time that I have left, and then we will begin. You are nothing like I remembered, says the Grand Priest.
Oh,
you
shit.
have morphed into something hideous. You have become the physical embodiment of what you feel within.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
You to make such remarks after all you've done, Merno says. Spare me the lecture and let's get on with why I sought you out, he says. I've waited long enough. These laws and these rules you uphold and protect do not apply to me. So I wait for no one. You are the one who is responsible for all of this.
Oh shit.
Was upholding your flawed and corrupted laws worth
Who you
the
pointing
lives
at
that were
now?
lost?
That nigga pointing.
You sent them all into war against me only for them to die in vain. You watched as they perished in your name. And just like them, you are next. Coward, I don't care what you have to do. I've waited long enough for this. You taught me everything there is to know, which is why I am who I am. Which is why I am an elite angel with no equals in battle. Right here, right now is where the paradigm changes. I'm going to make you pay dearly for ripping my destiny away. We'll see about that, the Grand Priest says. Look how far you've fallen from grace. You're obsessed, fixated on the contradictions of gods and mortals, torn apart by your ambitions to do as you see fit and destroy all those who oppose you. Your lust for more power has driven you into madness, corrupting your mind and soul into thinking that you are owed something. You seek reform within the multiverse by wiping out all life in the name of starting over, yet you question your exile after your motives were discovered in wondering why your actions were not to be tolerated. And who are you to decide who lives and who dies, the Grand Priest asks. Who are you to overstep your boundaries?
Okay.
You are not to play God and decide the multiverse's fate, the Grand Priest continues. And for those who have perished in battle for the sake of preserving the right to life, through my name and the name of the Omni Kings, will never die. And as the Grand Priest was then shown extending his arms and opening up several portals, he then continues, I watched as you had your way with the multiverse's mightiest warriors, and so I prepared for any and all outcomes in case they were to fall against you. By using a small portion of my power, I made sure to bring those who stood against you in this universe back from the afterlife.
Oh,
and so
shit.
You meet again, he says, and as we then see how Beerus steps through, Broly steps through, the Grand Priest then went on to continue, even when against all odds, they did everything I've asked of them in order to keep you at bay, to ensure the multiverse's survival as I attended to the Omni
Yes,
Kings.
sir.
And now the Grand Priest shouts, come forward, mighty warriors.
Nah, this fire.
God of
This fire.
destruction of the
This
seventh universe,
heat.
Lord Beerus. Mighty Saiyan warrior Broly, the multiverse's strongest warriors, I call for your aid and I call for your power in battle. To where as we see how Jiren and Golden Majin Buu and many of our fallen heroes have now been brought back from the dead, Merno by no means is pleased to see them, as he then went on to respond, them again. You rotten coward, you're shielding yourself behind them for time. Of course, Merno says. As we even see how Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito had gone to step on through, he then went on to respond, hey, we're back! And so is everyone else. This is perfect, Vegito says. And there he still is. Now you're in for it, Vegito says. Wow, 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 says the first Omni King. Look at all of these fighters. They all look so strong. This is so cool.
stronger?
I can
What the
even
fuck?
sense Goku's energy in that fighter over there. I can feel it too, says the second Omni King. Were they all fighting Merno together? Are they going to fight him again? This is so awesome. As even with the angels being shown having to step through, Vados went on to comment, we've returned. Father, thank you. You've saved us all. And Whis, look, the others. I see it too, Whis says.
Sure.
They've all been resurrected similar to how
They
our
pulled
younger
up.
brother Maris was resurrected when he was destroyed. What you are looking at is your ultimate downfall, Merno, says the Grand Priest. The unity of mortals, gods, and angels alike can never be broken. They understand their purpose. They've accepted who they are and what they mean in each of their worlds. You, however, have not, and they stand ready to face you again. Only this time, the Grand Priest adds, I am by their side to watch over them, and with everyone them being shown having to stand together in unity,
Okay.
the Grand Priest then went on to continue, Warriors of the Multiverse, I call
That's
for
a
your
fire
duties in this
pick.
final battle
Yes,
against
sir.
Merno. As the grains of sand continue to descend, I have but approximately 3 more minutes remaining until my restrictions are fully lifted. I call upon you all to do everything within your ability to either keep Merno from reaching us or destroy him entirely if you can. I am to keep my promise and remain here until time expires.
3 minutes?
You
That's
are
less
to
light.
fight using your full power against him. 3 minutes is all that is needed of you for balance to be restored. And so the Grand Priest says, as I wait for my entry in this battle, my faith is placed within all of you. But despite everything now being thrown against Merno, an angry Merno then went on to respond, I've waited eons to see your face again, and this is how you confront me? No, this will not be how history is written. History is going to
Nigga,
be
just wait 3
written by
minutes.
my hands. I've had enough, Merno
Me personally,
says.
I would save my
You think
energy.
those insects will stand in my way of revenge? Then you're even more delusional than I thought. And with Merno then shown having to power up even more than how he did before, he then went on to tell the Grand Priest, I will bathe the multiverse in your blood for what you've did to me, for the pain that I've had to endure, for all of the time that I've spent in hiding, rebuilding myself from the ground up. You will die on my honor. I swear you will. The wait ends now, Merno says. Now you die! As with
Oh,
Merno then
shit.
being shown having to take immediate action, Vegito went on to shout, here he comes, Lord Beerus. We gotta hit him with everything we've got. With Beerus responding, then don't be afraid to exert all of your power, saying, let's move. But before anyone could even respond, Merno was in fact so fast that he ended up flying right past everyone and making his way towards the Omni Kings and the Grand Priest, as Gohan went on to respond, hey, where'd he go? Oh no, there he is! He flew right past us! He's desperate to get to him, Jiren says. We can't let that happen! And with Merno then being shown having to get close enough and literally being feet, Merno was ready to take immediate action as he went on to wind his fist back by telling the Grand Priest, I will tear your heart out! But before Merno could even do that, out of nowhere, Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito had gone to grab onto Merno and telling him, oh no you don't! Gotcha! You almost had us there for a moment, but you're not getting by us that easily. Now everyone grab him! Which in fact they did, because with Mastered Ultra Instinct Jiren and full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly shown having to grab onto Merno's legs, Merno was completely taken back by this as he went on to then shout, you disgusting mindless animals! How dare you touch me? How dare you deny me of my revenge? But it didn't stop there, because Whis also went on to grab onto Merno's arm by telling him, I told you, didn't I? You brought this onto yourself, Merno. You will not win! Now everyone throw him! To where as Broly, Jiren, Vegito, and Whis were then shown throwing Merno down onto the ground, Merno quickly went on to stabilize his balance by responding, why you annoying dogs! Was this your ultimate counter plan against me? To grab and hold on to me the entire time? I'll kill you all again! Not if we have something to say about that, Vegito shouts, especially not with all of us united as one. Let's get him, Vegito shouts.
Get him!
Everyone then, including Golden Majin Buu, Jiren, Broly, and Kefla had made their way down. It was during their mid-flight where Kefla went on to respond, I've got some unfinished business with you, punk. Hey, Golden Bubblegum, on me! I'm on it, says Golden Majin Buu. Don't take your eyes off of him. And with
Golden
Bubblegum having to
Bubblegum
power up even more, he then went on to shout, I don't care how many of you he sends after me. I'll tear through all of you just like I did before. You brought them back only to die, Merno shouts. They won't make a difference. You're mine, Minister! Why is he so angry with you, Grand Minister, asks the Omni King. Does he have a problem with us as well? I'm starting to remember him more and more. Was he the angel who wanted to take my place as the Omni King? He's starting to really annoy me. Are you going to destroy him once time expires? And look at them go down there, the Omni King says. This is so awesome! As the Grand Priest went on to turn his head by responding, so I see your memory is just as good as I thought it would be. But yes, sire, that was him. Although you may remember Merno looking much different back then compared to what you see now. Once I'm given the freedom and complete your game, he says, I will see to it that Merno is no more. And as the Grand Priest then went on to oversee a massive battle happening within the landscape, he then went on to add, I never intended to lose you, Merno. Is there any trace of who you once were left inside?
Hell no.
Forced my hand, and you will soon pay for everything you've done. Mighty Omni Guards, I ask for you to watch over the Omni Kings with your life during this very crucial time. If Merno were to destroy those who oppose him and make his way here, you must stop at nothing than to defend the throne. Am I
defend
clear?
the throne, watch the throne for real.
Says one of the Omni Guards. I ask for you to defend them at all costs, even when my time expires and I am thrusted into battle. Do you understand? I cannot break the promise that I've given to the Omni Kings, the Grand Priest says. They will get the entertainment that they were promised, and then I will see to it that Merno's rampage ends with me, as it should. I ask of you to watch over the battlefield and pay very close attention to Merno's every move. And if he were to somehow get past me, then you will use the full extent of lethal force to stop him. To where as we then see how both Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito and Whis are shown having to attack Merno at the same time, in doing everything they can to keep Merno at bay, Merno went on to address the two by telling them, you insects just don't know when to give up, do you? You can't win. You will never win. None of you are of any concern to me anymore when my ultimate target lies right behind you. Not a chance, Vegito shouts. Why are you so hasty to attack them knowing they need a little extra time until they're ready to destroy you? Is it because you're looking for a quick and easy victory? You have caused too much pain and you cannot be given a clear path to the Grand Priest until the seal is broken, Whis says. But despite having to be outnumbered, Merno was not having it because as he went on to backhand Vegito across the face, in an act of desperation and rage, Merno went on to shout, enough of that mouth of yours! Get out of my face! face. Get him,
Me
Broly,
personally, I'd be like, damn, that 3 minutes ain't up yet.
Super Saiyan 3 Broly then being shown having to make his way towards Merno. In not forgetting all of the pain that Merno had caused him, Broly went on to shout, "I'm going to crush you." To where as Merno went on to catch Broly's punch, he then went on to turn towards Broly and telling him, "Do you know how insignificant you are compared to me, beast? You failed time and time again, no matter how many times you've tried. Pushing back against an immovable object will only go as far as to show you how weak you truly are to make a difference."
That nigga
and
talking
then there's
shit.
you. How did it feel, Beerus asks Merno. How did it feel when you felt my hand tear through your fragile body as you bled to death on the ground? You've got some nerve,
you
Angel,
cutting deep.
Beerus says. One way or another, you are going to pay for what you've done to Champa and the 7th universe. Pitiful, Merno says. Your delusion still clouds your mind despite forgetting what just took place moments ago when I left you laying face down on the ground bleeding to death. And with Merno then quickly being shown having to turn his body, in throwing Broly into Beerus, he then went on to continue, "I swear on your lives, when this is all over, I will make sure that none of you pests are ever resurrected again. I will erase all of existence, including the afterlife, and start from scratch as it should be. Now stand aside," Merno shouts. But out of nowhere, to prevent Merno from going any further, Vados went on to interject by attempting to punch Merno and telling him, "You're afraid, that's what it is. If you're so sure that your power rivals or exceeds the Grand Priest's, then why are you so fixated to attack him before he is ready?" With Merno responding, "You witch, you think I'm afraid of him? You think I fear these hypocrites? Don't you ever mistaken me for being like any of you, fool." But even then, despite having to avoid his attack, mastered Ultra Instinct Jiren and Whis went on to grab onto both of Merno's arms by shouting, "Then if that's the case, stay right where you are," Jiren says. "You will not reach them," Whis responds. "You delusional little slaves," Merno says. "You filthy, rotten, traitorous little puppets. I said, let go of me!" And as soon as Merno went on to power up in blowing both Jiren and Whis away, while Merno's attention was focused elsewhere, mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito and Ultimate Gohan were then shown charging up for a Kamehameha, with Gohan shown waiting for Vegito to initiate. Vegito then went on to comment, "Gohan, on my signal, release everything you've got. Even if our combined attack isn't enough to stop him, as long as we are able to slow him down and keep his attention locked on us, that's all that matters. This angel is beyond anything our wildest dreams could ever imagine," Vegito says. "He is every bit as dangerous as he claims to be, and then some. We can't let him succeed. We can't let him win. Are you ready?" Vegito asks, with Gohan responding, "I never would have imagined to be up against something this extreme. It feels like we're living through an actual nightmare," he says. "But what he's done to Pan and Videl, Dende, and the Earth, I stand with you no matter the odds. So what do you think?"
Man, why can't get my nigga Gohan a transformation? I know this is a little old.
He's sharp, but as long as
he ain't had a beast form yet, but still,
even if
nigga.
our attack fails to do anything, we still succeed. Who would have thought that he'd easily take our fusion on without even breaking a sweat? Wait on my signal. Steady." And with Merno shown having to kick Super Saiyan 3 Kefla in the guts, Gohan went on to chime in, "The others are getting torn apart out there. We can't risk blasting him again only for one of our own to be killed. Which is why we have to pick our spots carefully here," Vegito says. Steady. Charge it. May. Ha. May. As even with Merno's sister Margarita having to be shown coming up from behind and choking Merno, she then went on to tell him, "You're going to pay dearly for what you did to Lord Belmod. Looks like I can still tag and grab you after all," with Merno responding, "Unless you plan on breaking my neck, restricting me from achieving my destiny will only result in your own failure once again. You'll meet your end again once I'm done ripping your father apart." And as Merno had gone and throwing Margarita away before he can actually do so, Margarita, before having to be tossed to the wayside, had found an opening and then managing to kick Merno by telling him, "You should remember that I'm quick on my feet, Merno." As it was Merno who was then shown having to fly out into the distance, Vegito went on to inform Gohan by telling him, "She knocked him back a bit. Gohan, now!" As it was right then and there where Ultimate Gohan and Ultra Instinct Vegito had combined their Kamehamehas in firing it directly at Merno, with Merno not expecting a combined attack from both Vegito and Gohan. The attack then went on to make contact, with Gohan then asking, "Yes, we got him, a direct hit. But do you think it did anything to him? I can't see anything." "I'm not sure," Vegito says, "but don't drop your guard. We're not out of this mess just yet. We need more. Quickly, everyone," Vegito shouts, "fire at will as soon as you see him," which was exactly what the others had done, because with Merno showing
they're going Android 35. I went where they were.
And Android 35 took notice, with Android 35 responding, "Hey, there he is! Quickly, Boo, let's go! Don't stop firing at him, no matter what! Wait until he drops down," Boo says. "Boo's ready whenever you are." Which was exactly what had then happened, with Merno having to be shown stabilizing himself and responding, "Those wretched Saiyans should have been wiped out ages ago when their ancestors were all blown to Kingdom Come." "He's landed," Android 35 responds. "Now, Boo, fire!" Which once again, our heroes had done everything in their ability to make sure they were keeping Merno at bay, because with both Golden Majin Buu and Android 35 continuously shown firing attacks at Merno, Merno was shown in a defensive position and slowly having to walk on forward, as the Grand Priest was also shown having to observe this, as he then turned his attention at the hourglass and responding, "Only 2 minutes remain.
Damn,
If
nigga.
we can keep this up for another
You must be
120
Namek minutes, boy.
seconds, then my order will be granted." Merno, I hope it was all worth it.
You some
As
turn
through
into
the
power
smoke, you
minutes,
see
nigga.
how Merno's arm had popped out through the smoke and stopping each and every single one of their ki blasts and responding, "Enough of these childish games you mortals continue to play. Your attacks stop here." "Gohan, listen to me," Vegito says. "No matter what it is we try and do to him, it's clearly not having an effect, and there's only one thing that I could think of that might do the trick. But we need time. Do you understand?" With Gohan responding, "You need time? What kind of an attack are you— Wait, you don't mean—" "Yes, that's
Oh,
exactly
shit.
what I mean," Vegito says. "But gathering energy from only one universe to use against him won't cut it, so we'll need more," Vegito adds. "It's a stretch, but it's the best shot we have at making a difference against him.
What? How
We'll
many
need
universes left?
Everyone," Vegito says. "Every mortal, every god, and every angel from across the multiverse. Do what you can, but just don't get yourself killed. I need you," Vegito says. And as Vegito was then shown having to take flight, he then went on to add, "I'm not sure how much time I'll need to pull this one off, but no matter what happens, don't let him get close to me. We're about to give this bozo a taste of his own medicine, and he won't even see it coming." "A multiversal spirit bomb?" Gohan asks. "But how are they going to be able to collect energy from across the multiverse like that?" And as Vegito was then shown having to raise his arms up in the air and now beginning to create the spirit bomb, he then went on to add, "All right, it's been a while, but here goes. Steady now. If this doesn't do the trick, then I don't know what will. But it's all or nothing, and we have to put an end to him right now. He's too dangerous to keep around, so just in case if somehow the Grand Priest can't do it, then at least we'll have this as our trump card against him. So here goes." As with Merno shown having to dust himself off, he then went on to further comment, "If scratching me was your objective, then congratulations. You've managed to dirty my clothes in the process. Your attempts are useless, and now to— and just what do you think you're doing, Fusion? Oh, don't worry about us, Angel. We're just testing something out while you have your fun with the Grand Priest in a moment or two. We promise we won't get in your way." As the Spirit Bomb was then shown having to formulate above Vegito, Merno made sure to pay very close attention to this, as Merno went on to comment, "A collective ball of energy hovering above him? Now where have I seen this little move of yours before?" "But of course," Merno says, "this is Goku's little technique. The Spirit Bomb," Merno says. "So this is your ace card against me? You couldn't gather enough power to kill me, even if it came from an infinite source," Merno says. But then, Merno's instincts have kicked in, with Merno shown having to duck on under with full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Kefla shown missing her kick and responding, "You sure love running your mouth, don't you?" But then, out of nowhere, Merno had reciprocated in uppercutting Kefla in the stomach by telling her, "Oh, but I do. It's all the reason for me to rub the salt deep within the wounds as you feel every bit of your failure through each grain.
Damn.
You were never a threat to me, nor were you even on my radar, mortal woman. Away with you, trash." With Merno shown tossing Kefla on over, he then continues, "And now, almighty Grand Minister, it's time we settle our differences." But even then, before Merno was then shown having to proceed with his words and then being shown making his move, out of nowhere, Merno was just then able to get out of harm's way, with Vados shown scratching Merno and telling him, "You will not touch the Grand Minister." And with Vados then shown making her way towards her brother, in an act of desperation with Vados shown tackling him, she then went on to continue, "Are you forgetting that I was one of the very few that was able to hold her own against you when we—" But then, Merno was able to quickly then turn the tides against his sister by then being shown slamming Vados on down to the ground by punching her and responding, "You held nothing against me. You only stood ahead when I allowed for you to get ahead. You, Vados, you and the rest of them are nothing but liars," Merno shouts. "Cowards, slay slaves. I tried to free you. I tried to liberate existence from both of those ridiculous children. Children, Vados. Mindless little worms who sit at the very top of power. We are better than them. We are beyond their divinity, Merno shouts. And I tried to show you. I tried to show all of you. And what did I get for training you, Merno asks, as he is then shown continuously punching Vados over and over and over again.
Fucking Vados up. Somebody help that little lady.
To open your eyes to the truth. What did I get in return for helping guide you angels into becoming who you are today? You spit in my face. And for doing such, now I will spit in your face, Merno says. I will spit in all of your faces for refusing to free yourselves from the slavery you call life.
Those Tupac.
Omni Kings could end your lives at any moment, Merno adds. And for what? Because they're bored? Because they have nothing else to do? This was my stance. You chose this life, not me, Merno continues. I wanted to change it, to create a new reality without the rule of law that is overseen by children. So mass genocide was your answer, Whis asks, as he went on to grab onto Merno's hand by telling him, and you wonder why you were thrown out, with Merno responding, let go of me, Whis. You wouldn't know my pain, nor would, but then out of nowhere, once again,
the world know pain.
Dashing on in by having to be shown kicking Merno in the face by telling him, you were supposed to remain without bias and you instead decided to want everyone dead just because they didn't agree with what you wanted creation to be. And the Omni Kings are loving this because this was exactly what the Grand Priest had promised. As the Omni Kings went on to chime in, they're ganging up on him. Look, he's getting really annoyed. This is so awesome. I've never seen a battle like this. Neither have I, says the second Omni King. They're keeping him from coming up here. See? I'm starting to remember him now more and more, says one of the Omni Kings. I don't think he liked my rules for the multiverse very much. Hey, look, time's almost up, says the second Omni King. There's only 60 seconds left. Do you see it? But even then, when going back to Merno was then shown visibly annoyed as Merno went on to comment, an angel without bias. How hypocritical of you all to say that I have a bias, when it was your bias in listening to your masters that resulted in you all remaining shackled and without freedom. Maybe I am a bit lustful for blood, Merno says.
Maybe you are.
My bias stems from watching the weak die many deaths over and over as I listen to them scream. As once again, to make sure that Merno was kept as far away from the Omni Kings and the Grand Priest as possible, out of nowhere, full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly had came up from behind and wrapping himself around Merno by telling him, you again. Let me ask you, Beast, do you honestly think that I've been using my full power against you all this entire time? Or was I simply using you all to get what I wanted out of you? You think you know strength, Merno says, as he was slowly then beginning to break through
shit, he out muscling that nigga, Broly.
Here you go. Let me show you what a small portion of what real strength feels like. Shaking? Losing your grip on me already, Merno asks. Everyone listen up, Vegito shouts. Lend me some of your energy. There's no time to waste and we'll need to smash him using everything we've got. Is that the spirit bomb, Golden Majin Buu asks? Will our energy work against him? Well, the only way to find out is to try. Now hurry up and give them your energy, Beerus says. As everyone, including Jiren, was then shown doing
where the fuck Piccolo at? Nigga, Piccolo chilling. He like, man, I'm gonna let y'all niggas fight.
Something's gotta give, Android 35 shouts, especially with all of this power that all of us here are giving to them.
It's a lot of standing around, boy.
Only then where Merno was shown having to fully be able to break free from Broly's grip by telling him, silly Saiyan, you are at the very bottom of the food chain that you eat from. As he just so casually went on to kick Broly away, with Whis having to quickly intervene by catching Broly and telling him, remain with me, Broly, you will not perish. And as Merno looked up and seeing Vegito formulate the spirit bomb, Merno went on to put this into question by asking, so that was it? This was all of the power those Saiyan mortals were able to acquire? Laughable, Merno says. As impressive as that ball of energy may be to you, it would be a real shame if something were to happen to trigger it that causes that bomb to go off and kill you all, he says. Shit. You just continue to stay right where you are, Merno says. And with Merno then shown having to raise his arm, he then continues, I'm sure the Grand Priest will survive an explosion of that magnitude, as I'm sure he'll protect those little brats in the process as well. But you'll all be dead and out of my hair, which only then leaves them alone with me. As
okay. Oh boy, what's this, part 28? Something like that. And 29? Bruh. The Grand Priest showed up, man, and then Vegito about to do a crazy ass spirit bomb. It's a lot of it's a lot of standing around in this fight for niggas. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen no Piccolo. I seen Piccolo in the little picture, but you know what I'm saying? You know, Angel 35, they chill, they go one by one. That's why y'all niggas losing. Y'all need all conjoined effort, nigga. What y'all doing? Anyway. Nah. This is a fire. This fire. I'm very, very into this one. To these chapters right here, man. Shout out to Unreal Gaming. And man, you like my reaction, so you like, comment, subscribe, man. I'll catch you next time.